Michigan, one of 7 swing states, we're recording a record number of early votes with security top of mind.
Yeah, as of today, nearly 3.2 million Michiganders have already voted in this year's election. Of those, more than 1.2 million cast their ballots in person around the state. And nearly 2 million absentee ballots have been returned. That's a turnout of just under 44% of active voters so far.
7 News Detroit reporter Whitney Burney hitting the streets to hear from Metro Detroiters feeling both anxious and excited about what's to come.
Although early voting ended on Sunday, the city's Department of Elections has been buzzing all afternoon here in the News Center area as voter after voter has come in requesting a registration or an absentee ballot. This in an election the Secretary of State's office is already calling historic.
With less than 24 hours on the clock,
I know it's going to be hectic tomorrow, so I just was like, let me get out here.
Detroiters like Micaiah Willingham filed into the city's elections office ready to make a difference.
I just feel like everybody should have a voice, you know what I mean? I've heard different things back in the past about women not being able to vote, about like lower class, you know, not even being able to have the money, because back then you used to have to pay 2 votes.
Lee Austin, who has been voting since he was a teen, now encouraging younger generations to use their voice too, bringing his granddaughter with him to the polls on Monday.
Mama taught when I were in the service, she told me, get your absentee ballot, make sure you vote. So I've been voting since I was 19.
Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says nearly half of the state's registered voters have already cast absentee ballots or voted early in person. The highest turnout taking place Sunday with 189,000 Michiganders showing up. And as election misinformation already begins to spread, Benson says election integrity and security are top priorities.
4 years ago, we saw an influx of absentee voters, of course, due to the pandemic, and it resulted in some impatience among the community members, and we saw a lot of chaos at TCF specifically. Are there any security measures in place to prevent that?
There have been a number of challengers and observers, all peacefully observing and staying within the guardrails of their roles, to have access to see the process and also have transparency as well. It's gone abundantly smoothly, and I'm really glad for that. I see no reason why we should depart from that at all tomorrow or in the days ahead, and I certainly expect and hope that no one will try to disrupt the process. It won't be successful, it will break the law, and we will be there with state, local, and in some cases federal law enforcement to protect the process.
Benson says her office is also planning to deploy around 100 Secretary of State workers across the state.
We are prepared for anything, and we have multiple partners and even have done scenario planning exercises all across the state to be ready for anything that could transpire.
Coming up tonight at 6, how long the Secretary believes tabulation will take and when we could begin seeing some of those results. Reporting here in the News Center area, Whitney Burney, 7 News Detroit.